You can.
Please.
You can talk about me some more if you want.
It was all good.
It was good?
Remember
It was all good.
I can project.
I didn't get completely ready. I gotta make sure my little gizmo is working here. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I keep bees for 3 different reasons. I thoroughly enjoy it. I can't even see this. I thoroughly enjoy it. Is that on?
Advance the slide and see.
No, on the side.
That's what I gotta put my thing on. It says on.
Okay, let's see if it's working. But anyway, I thoroughly enjoy keeping bees. That's what keeps me going. But I like to have a good honey harvest, and I like to grow bees. And if I don't control my swarms, it gets in my way of my happiness. And so tonight I'm going to try to talk to you a little bit about these subjects. Let's see. We're going to first look at and I've been told I have to stay right here.
You can wander a little bit.
You can go that way, just don't come in front of this speaker.
Okay. No, it's.
Well,
it's
we're trying to
feedback.
record it, so.
Oh.
But anyway, and I didn't even get to go to the makeup room, so I'm sorry, guys. But we're going to be talking about the biology of swarms, so we know what's going on when that's happening. I'm going to talk about a little bit about catching swarms, swarm control, and equalizing your hives for maximum honey production. And that's a very important thing for me. And of course, just at the end, I'm going to touch on a little about sustainability in a small scale apiary. And that way we'll see a little bit about that. But with that being said, before I get going, I know a lot of you were here to listen to Bill's talk in January, and he was talking about genetics. And I'm going to touch on genetics a little bit in this talk. Of course, Bill was talking about genetics for good honey producers, genetics for overwintering, genetics for varroa control, genetics to have calm bees or aggressive bees, guys. And the other thing he talked about is swarm genetics as well. Swarm genetics controls what your bees are doing in your bee guard. It can be a strong swarm genetics, or it can happen very, very early, and that's not good, or it can be a regular or normal swarm genetics. Swarming is normal for honeybees, but under normal conditions, not under abnormal conditions, and that's what we want to look at tonight. So anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Biology of a swarm. Of course, how many of you seen a swarm? Good many of you have. It's a beautiful thing to see. You see a lot of bees up in the air like this right here. The sky's almost black with bees. The sound is just wonderful. Then you stop and think, after you're looking at all this beauty, damn, I just lost my hive. I'm not going to get anything from it that year, and not even be able to hopefully get it back for winter. The swarm comes in a lot of different situations. A swarm like this, very difficult to get. Unless you find the queen, it's almost impossible to get them off of that fence. Same thing on the ground like this. If you can't find the queen and get her in the box, those bees are not going to get into that box for you. Scraping oil off of that fence, off of that ground is impossible to do. This is another one I hate. All these vines, it's just really hard to catch a swarm. These are ideal if it's not too far up in the tree. This one low on the ground like this is outstanding. But it comes in a lot of different forms that you'll see. Why do honeybees swarm? Overcrowding is the main thing that will help them have a natural swarm, and that could be overcrowding in the brood chamber or in the honey supers when they're getting full, or both. And it needs to be happening in a middle of a good nectar flow. Genetics can cause it, queen age can cause it, queen quantity can call it, and of course no good reason to call, and that's what happens with swarm bees swarm when they shouldn't swarm. So let's take a look at this. And as you can see, swarming is a natural thing for them to separate on a colony level, to make more bee colonies. Laying eggs is not actually propagation for honeybees. So how do bees decide to get the right condition to swarm? Eventually, when everybody says, okay, we're crowded with this, we got a good nectar flow, we're crowded with that, The queen's fussing, the honey ripening bees are fussing because they have no place to store anything. They decide we need to swarm. So the decision is taken. And what happens in that, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to elect some scout bees. Now your hives have scout bees anyway. A lot of you may not know that, but you know your foraging bees just don't go out and find nectar. They don't go out and just find water. There's scouts there in your hive, and they are not foragers. They are scouts. They go out and scout for nectar.